What's up, everybody? Welcome to Shared Screens Media Club, a place where we discuss TV shows, movies, video games, but not books, because fuck them, they're for nerds. Today we are discussing the season finale of Marvel's Hawkeye, So This Is Christmas, and What Have You Done? That's not part of the episode name. Joining me
Not
today...
for nothing. I do have to say, that is my favorite Christmas song. I was very excited when I saw that was the title, because that was my favorite Christmas song.
Don't you hate the Beatles and John Lennon, though?
Yes, but I love that song.
Fair enough.
I don't know why.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, there is a...
It's kind of like I also enjoy Come Together, which is the Beatles. But it's like, what? Stop scratching my records! That's vintage vinyl!
Oh, no.
And shouting at her cat, that's Leanne Jass. And above her is Jim Tasty, a.k.a. Brett Jamerson.
What's up? What's up?
He was playing with the plastic of this is a vintage
Billy Joel
album and just fucking playing with the plastic.
Oh, no.
I thought it was my Fleetwood Mac Rumors album, which is why I was like losing my shit.
I truly don't know like what you love more, that album or your cat.
That's a difficult.
Wait, what album was it?
Fleetwood Mac's Rumors.
Okay.
An album for and by people cheating
on each other. Yes.
Original pressing.
No, I could never find an original pressing, but it's in like really, really good quality. And like it was I paid like $35 for it. I searched for it for like a year. I love that album. I listen to it all the time. And so like I need you to stop playing with them. Like you have no reason to be doing this. Thank you. Sorry.
For the record, if you don't like John Lennon, there's a very good Maroon 5 cover, a Josh Groban cover, and a Miley Cyrus cover of that song.
I felt attacked in tonight's episode.
Why is that?
I think you know why.
I don't know if... Oh, is it because John Walker didn't show up? Or
no. I was joking about that. I was joking
John Walker has nothing
to
to do with this. I'm wondering why you feel attacked.
Although I do gotta say, because Yelena was in there, I could see, but yeah, I was 98% joking. No, they attacked Maroon 5 in this episode.
Oh yeah, they did.
No, I feel like they complimented Maroon 5.
No, because they were basically like implying that like Imagine Dragons and Maroon 5 are the same. That this guy, the joke is this guy has terrible taste in music.
If I had to choose, I go to Maroon 5 concert any day of the week.
Oh, like 100%.
I could name more Maroon 5 songs than I could Imagine Dragons. I have a piece of fluff in my hair. And
I can name 2 Imagine Dragons songs, and it's the fact that I have to think it's 2. I know for a fact I can name 1.
I cannot tell the difference between Imagine Dragons and Bastille, so I got nothing for you.
I've never heard a Bastille song.
The only Bastille song I know is Pompeii.
I know a few other ones.
But if you close your eyes... Imagine dragging these nuts on your face. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, what did we think of tonight's episode? Also, I also just want to quickly shout out. This is the last MCU Media Club of the year, and to think that it started this year all the way back in WandaVision.
I know. WandaVision, I can't believe was still this year.
It was this year
was a decade long. I know that doesn't make sense, but this year was a decade long.
I loved it.
You liked this episode? Or WandaVision?
Yeah. WandaVision's number 1 on my MCU ranking list. And for anyone curious, Hawkeye is now sitting happily at number 5. But I love this episode. I think they did a great job introducing Kate Bishop. I think they did a great job making fans that, like myself, who were upset with his portrayal in past projects, it kind of fixed it. Sorry, she's being very loud. It like kind of fixed it, but I thought they did everything great. I think it's set up to go in a really fucking good direction. I have one question left, and that's it. And that's just, I don't think I'm supposed to know the answer to that question.
What's the question?
Do we want to do big spoilers right at the beginning?
Yeah, we've never shied away from that.
If Maya shot Kingpin or Kingpin shot Maya.
Okay,
that bugged me so much because there's no way in heck they
brought him. No, so here's the thing: is I have the answer to that. I actually have the answer to that.
Literally less than 0%.
where I was looking through Reddit today, where that scene of Maya holding a gun to him and him saying something in her base.
I know, it's from the comics.
And in the comics, he survives that gunshot.
Okay, that's what I couldn't remember. I was like, I have not read that comic in so long.
There was no way they brought him back just to kill him off in an episode.
And I mean, he got shot in the chest. He very clearly
got shot with an arrow. Not saying that arrows are comparable to bullets, but
he had like a bulletproof vest on or something.
I think he had Kevlar on. Yeah,
he had something on underneath it. I was just like a little like, I can assume that she shot him and didn't check to make sure he was dead.
Listen,
I can assume.
It's always the rule in comics: unless you see the body, don't assume they're dead. You need one of three things: a body, somebody saying it, or a funeral. What were you gonna say?
I said or a funeral.
Yeah, or basically the funeral's the other big one. Brett, what did you think of the episode? Like generally speaking.
I liked it, but overall I was pretty whelmed. Like, I didn't come away from this episode like, oh my gosh, like, whoa, like it was like, okay, like, yeah, like Hawkeye and Kate are gonna have like an awesome battle scene. Yeah, I didn't expect Kingpin to be in it as much as he was, but when he showed up, it wasn't anything that like blew my mind. I don't know if that makes any sense. Yeah, I thought like there weren't any big revelations that came out of this episode where I'm like I feel like, and not that a show needs this, but I feel like with every other show, I was like, oh, like, okay, this is the hook for what's going to happen next, like something to look forward to. Like I don't know what to look forward to from, like, is Clint retired now? Like, is Kate officially Hawkeye? Like,
I think, okay, so.
You know what I mean? Like, we never really got any, like, official, like,
yeah,
passing of the mantle or anything like that. Whereas Falcon Winter Soldier's like, hey, Sam is Cap. WandaVision's like, hey, she has fully unlocked her powers. She's on this whole nother journey now. Yeah, like Loki, oh my gosh, the multiverse. Like, all these like huge transformative things happen, and I feel like this show is like, yep.
I feel like, so we have no confirmation on if we're getting a season 2, but I feel like they'd be dumb not to give it to us, even if Clint's not in it. Yeah. Just because they planted a lot of seeds in this episode, like flipping the watch over and it having S.H.I.E.L.D. on it, which, by the way...
You called, I know.
I called it. I wrote in all caps in my notes, I called it. She was in S.H.I.E.L.D. That's how her and Clint met.
Well,
her, Matt, and Clint were all BFFs, and it's adorable.
I think I saw something that's also confirmed. She is Mockingbird now because the watch had a 19 on it, which is Mockingbird's code number.
Yep.
See, I am blind, and I was wearing.
I didn't notice that originally either.
Yeah, because my television's here. My couch is like, I don't know, like 5 feet away, and I have my glasses on, but I'm still like a little bit blind.
Yeah.
And did not see it.
Yeah, basically this episode was Marvel being like, hey, the Netflix show's still canon. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not canon.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not canon anymore. But...
Yeah, I just was...
Brett, I kind of get what you mean. Like, I feel like the episode was missing, like, that final touch, and I really don't know what it is that I feel as though it was missing. As far as Kate and the mantle, I think that I do like the way they did it, where she's bouncing the names back and forth, and he goes, I have an idea, and it just shows you the logo being like, he just told her, you can take the name Hawkeye, I'm done. Like, I think we did the math. The man's been trying to retire for 10 years.
I'm sure in the comics, Kate has other names too, right?
No.
Like, no. Okay.
They both go by Hawkeye. It's weird. I know.
I gotta look this up.
It's like a Peter Parker and Miles Morales situation where they're both Spider-Man at the same time sometimes, and it's fine. Yeah. We just deal with it. Like, when it happens with, like, the Green Lantern and the Flash, where, like, the mantle, like, the one retires and the other takes it on, it's so much easier to follow.
She is sometimes called Lady Hawkeye, which is when people are trying to differentiate, and I believe in one comic, she is referred to as Lady Hawk Guy, because it's a comic where there's a whole arc about how, like, nobody realizes his name is Hawkeye. They think it's Hawk Guy.
And they think her name is Lady Hawk Guy.
Yeah. And somebody calls her Hawkette for a while, and she does not enjoy it.
Oh, that sounds annoying.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, why didn't they officially do it? Like, yeah. I'm just curious why
Kate
they
just also like, I don't know. I feel like everybody just knows who Kate is.
Yeah, I don't know if her secret identity is like a big deal because she kind of just goes around getting called Kate Bishop.
A lot.
I
Yeah.
did love.
And she
I
doesn't
did
wear a
love
mask or anything.
Elena and hers relationship in this episode. It was great.
It was a fun little frenemies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that was great. Also, that's just the two halves of my brain.
Your two halves of the brain are constantly fighting in an elevator.
Honestly, kind of.
Mood.
When they were standing in the elevator and Kate is in like this high neck black sparkly dress with her hair and her eyes are all dramatic, and then Yelena's next to her in a bright green coat and is just blonde, and I was like, I dress one of these two ways, and there is no in between.
I sent you that TikTok before.
Yeah. And then like, I don't know, the rest of their fight, I was like, this just feels like my two brain cells just duking it out.
I feel so bad for that one dude that got taking the Christmas Eve shift and then just had to like watch these two beat each other.
I know.
Like, poor guy. Be respectful to your retail workers this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
So I also wrote a note that says, why would you admit that, you dumb bitch? But I don't know what. Oh, it was referring to Eleanor. I feel like when Eleanor was like, I have insurance and files and screenshots and a secret. I was like, why would you tell him that? Why would you play that hand?
That was my original. That was my original guess or reaction. But then I realized, well, she needs something for her to be like, you stay away, I'll stay away. Like if she goes, I have nothing to do in return to you, he has no reason to not go after her.
Yeah. I don't think though saying to Kingpin I have information is a good where he's going to be like, sure, I'm not going to go after you, fine, live your life, bye.
Also, actually, I think, Brett, I kind of just realized what it is that this episode was missing. They kind of yada Eleanor and Kingpin's like working relationship. All she goes is, your dad owed him money, so I started to work for him. Yeah, but like
I'm sure it was like,
it just feels like there's more there that they're yada-yadaing away.
Well, I also don't think they want to play the whole hand of what Kingpin has been doing since season 3 of Daredevil to now. I don't think, like, we were never going to get a scene that's like, well, I escaped prison this way, and I did this, and then eventually I met this man, and then the snap happened, and that was fucking weird. And, like, I don't think
Kingpin telling a story, but the way Luis would tell a story.
I don't think that's how it was going to go.
You guys don't think they're going to rewrite some of his history?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm assuming Echo is going to give us a lot of... Because there's no real reason to explore Kingpin's backstory with Kate Bishop. Yeah. Besides just that her mom worked for her and he was her dad's loan shark.
I also wouldn't be surprised if the first scene in Echo is basically confirming Kingpin's still alive. After the gunshot.
Yes. And I would assume that there are also going to be a lot of flashbacks in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Featuring a little girl and Kingpin.
My thing with, I think you brought it up, Leon, about Hawkeye season 2. I don't think there's going to be a season 2 because, I mean, Loki got the little stinger with season 2 will return or whatever. We're getting a season 2. We didn't get that with this.
But it also didn't say series finale on Disney Plus. It did say season finale. So I think they're leaving it open-ended.
Yeah, they haven't said that. They never said it was a limited series because Loki, they were originally like, oh, it's a limited series. And then like 3 months before the show came out, they were like, actually, we're going to do 2 seasons. And then, but with Falcon and Winter Soldier and now this, they didn't say anything. They just were like, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier, they were like, hey, it's not getting a second season. It's getting Captain America 4. And WandaVision, they were like, yeah, that's a limited series just leading into other things. So I don't know if I also don't know if they thought Hawkeye was going to be the slam dunk Loki was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they were positive the reception it's got would be the reception it was going to get. I love Kate Bishop, and I'd be concerned as like an executive that people weren't going to like care.
Yeah, it's not as well known of a character in general, and like Loki's kind of just had a group of people that would die for him since 2012, so that's kind of like a safe bet at this point that Loki will make you money.
2011, dog, man, come on now.
Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah,
Put some respect on Thor 1's name. Uh,
What else did it right?
yeah, I just like, and obviously they can do whatever, but like with Marvel, I feel like they announced their shit is pretty far out.
They announce
And
it far
obviously-
out, but they've also shown that they're able to be flexible in some ways. Like Endgame and Infinity War were supposed to be a part 1 and a part 2. Captain America 3 was supposed to be the Serpent Society. Like things have changed.
Yeah, I also think that with what's next for Kate and like this new generation, I think we might have to wait until after America Chavez is introduced. Because somebody pointed this out on Twitter yesterday where they were like, so America Chavez is like the last young Avenger we're waiting to be introduced to.
Teddy.
Who?
We haven't gotten Teddy yet. Hulkling, I think, is what he's known as, the one that could transform.
I don't think we're gonna get that.
Because he's related to a Skrull, is he not? Like on top of looking like a whole, I've heard that I was reading today that he's also related to a Skrull, which is why he has the shape-shifting thing.
Have we got an Iron Lad?
No, but I'm assuming they're just going to do Ironheart. I have a feeling Iron Lad is not going to be part of it.
Yeah, they found that one kid from Iron Man 3 for a funeral scene only. It was so funny coming out of Endgame and 90% of people being like, who was that kid? And then some people like going, I think it's this kid.
But yeah, I have somebody pointed out on Twitter yesterday where they were like, Doctor Strange 2, which is establishing the multiverse, we're getting America Chavez, it's pretty much confirmed we're getting Tommy and the other one.
Wiccan?
Billy,
yeah.
Billy, that's his name. We got there. That we're gonna get them in Multiverse of Madness 2 as well. And then, so Multiverse of Madness comes out in May. Black Panther, which is introducing Ironheart, comes out that summer, and D23 is coming back next year in the summer. So, like, it would make sense that that's when, like, D23 is when we're going to start getting news on, like, the Young Avengers. And however they're gonna be.
And I could see them deciding, like, Kate Bishop's next appearance will be in Young Avengers, and then Hawkeye Season 2 will kind of be, like, how Jessica Jones Season 3 and Daredevil Season 3 were, like, post-Defenders, like, seeing what they're up to afterwards. I was just looking up Hulkling. I can't remember which Skrull he is related to, but he's related to a Skrull. They kind of could bring him in, but you're right, it's a little bit more niche of a character. His powers are so mixed. Like, he has, like, a little...
Also, you know what we don't need? Hulkling and She-Hulk. We don't need two of them.
Yeah, but I feel like if they don't follow through with the Hulkling and Wiccan relationship, it's going to look like they're hiding that from the general audience.
Oh, do they date?
Oh, yeah, no, they're like one of the most famous gay relationships in comics.
Oh, cute. Good for them.
Yeah. Maybe they'll change him up. Maybe they'll just call him Teddy and he'll be green, but he won't be Hulkling.
That's the thing, we don't need to be worrying about their romances right now. I enjoyed that Kate Bishop didn't have, like, a romance in this.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Yeah, that was good.
I need to go down my notes a little bit here because I am not remembering the order. Kingpin being in a Hawaiian shirt is fucking hilarious.
It was a little, it was a choice.
I enjoyed it so much. I literally wrote how the mighty have fallen, Kingpin, that you went from this massive, beautiful penthouse and these beautiful suits and like a ring on every finger to like a used car lot office, and you're in like a Hawaiian shirt and you look like you just rolled out of Miami Vice.
Especially because of his sheer size, and like, I'm not saying this as a meme, he legitimately looked like the grandpa from Ben 10, because the way they draw it in that show is like he's 5 times taller than his grandkids.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like a cheesy Christmas thing to do. Like
the shirt was like, okay, it's a choice. The second I saw the hat, I was like, what? Like, is he like, is he just about to catch a flight and like go celebrate Christmas in the Bahamas? It's a very him choice, but like, I don't know, dude. Change on the plane.
When Kate said that Eleanor, she was like, she can't. My mom doesn't even jaywalk. I was like, there's not a single New Yorker alive that doesn't jaywalk.
Yeah. Your mom would be late to everything if she didn't jaywalk.
Everything. Everyone jaywalks. When they were designing the little arrowheads in the apartment, and he opened the box with all the Stark ones, I was like dying because Tony had a great time making little Stark missiles to go on top of fucking Clint's arrows. He had a great fucking time with that.
Tony definitely had like a list of trick arrows he wanted to make, and Clint went no.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely. Jack went from being creepy as fuck to me to my favorite character.
I'm sorry, no. He was way
He was
too
never-
happy. He was
He's
way
so
too
funny.
happy to be slaying
I
motherfuckers
love it.
down with
He's
swords.
just like Robin Crusoe, Robin Crusoe, Jacques Cousteau.
I
and it's
looked
just
it
so
up,
funny.
and apparently he's a character in the comics called Swordsman, who was like one
Yeah.
of Hawkeye's mentors back when Hawkeye was
Yeah.
like a villain. I didn't know
Yeah.
any of that.
Well, like Jack Ducasse he owned the circus that Hawkeye.
Yeah, I
ended
think
up
that's
at.
what it was. He
He
basically
was
had a
the
very
bad guy.
similar costume.
He was Swordman, and then he was Ronin. Yeah, Hawkeye's original costume is based off of his mentor. That's why it looks fucking ridiculous. And Clint takes up the mantle of Ronin from Jack.
It's so
But like, rolling up to a party
With
to
a
formal
sword.
Christmas holiday with a sword when you just got out of prison is like some big dick shit.
okay. I didn't just get out of prison, and it's not even a formal party. If I go to New Year's or to Christmas Eve at my grandma's house with a sword, my family's gonna put me in an institution.
You're not a rich, eccentric white guy.
No, but
Also-
like I still like my swords.
Also, what do we think about Jack still being down bad for Eleanor after she threw him into jail?
How
Listen,
good does that
Eleanor's
pussy
hot
gotta be?
and stone cold. She's hot, in charge, and like.
Well,
fuck
he goes,
you.
honey, I want to talk to you, and then she disappears, so they never got to have that talk.
Have that conversation.
And now she's
Yeah,
now she's in jail.
But he was so excited to be just beating the
literally
people
wrote-
down with the swords. And then Kate looked at him, she's like, yeah, he's on our side, but we need to get him out of here.
he's on our side, but he's gotta go.
Too much fun.
I was like, he's a savage. Like when he came out and saved Kate and was like, "Hi, sweetie," I was like, "Oh, that's what it was." He reminded me of Gomez Adams, and like I love Gomez Adams. I love the Adams family, and it felt like this, like the hair and the mustache. It felt like a moment of like Gomez Adams.
I don't know.
And I was reminded that I'm bitter that they cast Oscar Isaac as Gomez Adams,
But
and then
not
made
in
it
live
an
action.
animated movie. Why would you do that? Why would you cast Charlize Theron and Oscar Isaac as Morticia and Gomez Adams and then make the movie animated? Why would you do that?
Like,
They're perfect.
they
They're
were literally the
literally
perfect ones for live action. You could have cast anyone else and made it animated. We would have been like, oh, that makes sense.
It was perfect.
Anyway,
Anyways.
Leon, you know how when me and you, we talk about Rise of Skywalker and we go, listen, Lando and Chewie were having a little bit too much fun there at the end.
Much of a good time.
Same energy with Jack in this episode. Like, something
just
about
feel
him
like
still
Jack-
doesn't pass the smell test. Maybe it's because he's French, but like...
I think Jack went to was forced to go to prep school and learn how to fence, and has never been able to, and like is also just interested in swords, and has never been able to use it in his adult life. Jordan, imagine for a moment you like swords,
I do
you
like
want
swords.
to sword fight, and you were given an opportunity where you were finally allowed to sword fight and really sword fight, not like fencing and like that, like actually sword fight. You would be doing this. I would be saying the same thing to the LARPers or the cops and be like, he's on our side, but he also has to leave because he's doing too much. Like,
I like how you called them
I
LARPers
would
before
say
cops.
because they're not. Are they all cops?
Some are firefighters, some are cops.
I
I think they confirmed that the blonde one's a cop, and I don't know what the makeup and we know that what's his name Grizzy.
Grizzly, something like that. He's a firefighter.
He's a
and
firefighter.
the
So the other two,
African American woman that was like to Jack at the end, "Hey, you want to try LARPing?" She's also a cop.
okay, so at least half of them are cops, if not 75% of them are cops. I got way too excited to be like, guys, what are we doing? I was like, are you gonna finally pull out your badges? And then they showed up in their costumes. Like, of course, they want people to think they're fucking superheroes. And
Yeah,
it tells you so much about the universe that they see people in these costumes and start listening to them.
yeah.
Okay,
I literally go. Sorry, go ahead.
I have a question,
Yeah.
Yes.
and this might be answered very easily, but I'm not sure. So when they're having that epic battle scene in at the Rockefeller
Rockefeller
ice
Center.
rink, yeah, yeah. They use a pin particle arrow on the truck that's just yeeting themselves into the middle of this
Yeah, that was
ice rink.
dark. That got dark.
But
I thought the owl was just gonna be like a cute thing, a cute moment, and I enjoyed it greatly. And then that happened, and I was like, oh,
So,
okay,
yeah,
question: are those like just two Ant-Men now running around? Like,
I think they're owl pellets now, Brett. But
yeah, I think they are deceased now, but I think they were
so
eaten
so
by an owl.
see, I
so
thought the
when
owl
you
was going to start
when
crashing
Ant-Man
Clint's face and he was going to fall off the tree.
question: when Ant-Man shrinks down, does the suit let him have the proportional strength of like an ant and allow him
Not
to jump
proportional.
high and
It's
punch hard and stuff,
Hank
or is
Pym
it?
says it in the first movie where he basically, and the comics have always just kind of yada yada Pym particles because inherently some of the things aren't true. But apparently their mass never changes, which is fake because Hank's carrying a tank around in his pocket. It's just the space between atoms, and that's why Hope says you punch too soft, it'll be like a fly, and if you punch too hard, it would be like a bullet.
Yeah. So are they like Ant-Man now? Is there two Ant-Men in that truck?
I mean, no, because Ant-Man can reverse back to big.
Ant-Man has pin particles and can go back.
Yeah,
They
they're
can
they're
go back.
stuck small.
No, I know they're so small, but they could literally just like be like Hank Pym and What If and just go around assassinating people, right?
Well, Hank Pym also had a yellow jacket suit. These
I
guys are
think
in
without the
tracksuits.
two, I think these guys are dead. I hate
Yeah.
to say it, but
That's
I'm
why I know
90%
they're
sure
dead. I know they're dead, but like
you want to
theoretically,
believe that, like, theoretically they could live.
yeah, like aren't they like Ant-Man now?
Well, what's
essentially?
worse, would be getting eaten by the owl if the owl accidentally dropped the truck?
It would be owls swallow their food whole, do they not?
I don't know, and I
Because
don't
then
want
they
to find
vomit up the little pods that are full of the bones
Owl
and like
pellets.
fur. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's what they poop. What they vomit up is called something else.
I was told it was a pellet. We dissected one in elementary school.
Gross.
All right, what was everyone's favorite arrow in this episode? Because we got a ton of them this episode. We got a ton of different arrows. What was your favorite?
Was there a difference between the purple and the orange gas?
Yeah, what was the orange
I
gas?
think
What
one
was
was
that?
inflammatory.
Yeah, what was that orange
See,
gas?
I think the orange one might have been a hallucinogenic just because some of the guys kept fighting after they got exposed to it, but they were hitting nothing.
Can we talk about this? Wasn't my favorite, but can we talk about the one that they shot and it basically starts spinning and shooting off shrapnel?
Oh, yeah.
Like a nail bomb.
Yeah, and they shot a guy in the chest.
And it was like in it, and
then
it was
the
like shooting.
shrapnel went off. I was like, I get that with Rockefeller Center, and the Rockefeller Center at Christmas makes it seem less violent, but that still was violent for a Marvel.
That's a Tony idea. That wasn't a Tony idea.
Like, fuck.
Wasn't
dude.
there another one that did something similar, or did they have two of those arrows?
They had two of those arrows.
Okay.
He shot one into the ice. He shot one into the guy's chest. There were two of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, how do you shoot that in a way where the shrapnel doesn't hit you? Because they were really close.
It was far
Plot
off.
armor.
I don't think it was as close as it seemed. I just think that.
I mean, I feel like the definition of close changes when you're talking about just shooting an arrow and shrapnel flying around.
I gotta say,
that ice rink is huge.
Fair enough.
Like,
mine. It's not like the most powerful, but the one that was the coolest to me was like the ice arrow. Like how it just formed
Yeah,
the
they
ice
froze
around the
that dude's
dude's
leg.
leg.
Yeah.
I was like, that is so cool. Like, oh my gosh, it just looked cool. So that's probably my favorite. But yeah,
Was
the
it-
orange gas. I still
Yeah.
want to know what that actually does.
It wasn't an arrow, but it was part of the bow where he had the detonators and the switch.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
came in handy.
Kazi,
Got fucking
he had a weird
stabbed.
storyline. Whoa, yeah, got stabbed. Maya went through it in this
Do you think
episode.
he's dead, or do you think he might come back?
No, I think he's dead.
Yeah.
I think he's dead. That was like another thing about this episode where I was very whelmed, where it was like that classic like Maya's starting to realize like,
Who's on her side, who's not.
or just like, hey, I probably shouldn't just like throw myself into this gang. Like I should like have some agency over my own life and all this stuff. And then Kazu's like, I can't leave. It's like, yeah, you can, dude. Just get out of here. You're gonna die. And then
leave with her.
yeah, and then of course she like kills him, but not like half-heartedly. And I'm like, okay, like I kind of expected that to go that way after P tried to like kill her. Like I was like, there's no way he's gonna win this fight. Like, come on.
No.
Yeah.
All the women in this show are great, though. I'm obsessed with every single one of them.
Also, she got a hair change.
I know, she straightened it.
Yeah, she let her hair down.
It looked lovely. I'm so excited for Echo. Also, when Eleanor got in the car and her driver was like stabbed in the neck or whatever the fuck that was.
Ooh, yeah.
I was like, how did you not expect that? I don't know how you didn't expect this outcome. You know?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like you don't get in the.
That's why I'm saying it feels like the yada yada her whole relationship with Kingpin, because you assume her relationship at this point been going on over 10 years if it happened with Avengers. Like
Oh, but she clearly doesn't think anything can happen to her.
Like, that's what I mean.
She 2 seconds later.
She has to be pretty high up for her to even feel as though she's safe. Now that might be dumb, but I feel like
I just think she's dumb. I don't think it has anything to do with
no, but I mean, like, I feel like
I think she's just never been told no.
I feel like Kazi understands he wouldn't be able to get away with that
because Kazi is.
He's closer to the He's probably.
That's the other thing is, it seemed like they had more of a partnership rather than like a direct working relationship.
And like, think about what Bishop security is, and like, it kind of gets into that thing of who would be able to get off and be like, well, I didn't know, or my husband got me into it, and I had to protect my daughter. Like, it would be easier for a woman to get away with it than Kazi, especially like a rich woman. Like, a lot of that comes into play. It's a bunch. This show is essentially a bunch of rich people doing whatever they want and fucking it up for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But like the part where she's like looks at Kate and was like, "Is this what heroes do? Have their mother arrested on Christmas Eve?" I was like, "When their mother is a murderer, yeah." Like,
you killed an old man.
Yeah, you stabbed an old man with a sword,
and we don't even really know why. You just kind of did it.
Didn't she say something like Kingpin wanted him out or something like that?
That's not a good enough reason.
He was asking because he was worried about Jack. He was asking too many questions.
Yeah.
Which is why part of me feels like Jack is still in on it in some way.
No, I think Jack is just dumb. Jack's down bad.
Dude, how about... Yeah, he's down bad.
Why does it matter if he's asking questions about Jack?
Because because Armand did not like Eleanor. He did not trust. He did not trust Eleanor.
And turns out he was right.
Jack in his own. Yeah, he cares about Jack in his own weird.
Oh yeah, can we talk about that little shit being like, I was gonna get your wine collection?
Yeah, dude. He was like, he's
savage.
He owned that little kid, man.
To be fair, the kid does think that that's the guy who killed his uncle, so like I get the attitude.
Yeah, but also the firefighter picked him up to get him out of there. He's like, "Put me down. Do you know who I am?" The firefighter's like, "I'm trying to save your life, you spoiled little brat." Which I feel like is something that there are many firefighters have wanted to say. That
yeah, the FDNY has wanted to say that to many of people. It was a very Malfoy moment.
Also, I'm curious how Eleanor was in the car like this way, and then somehow got in the driver's seat, pulled out, and then rammed Kingpin like at like 50 miles an hour.
I get how she did that
on that road, on that little road.
I get how she did that. What'd she do with the body? Because there was a body in the driver's seat.
Just dump it out.
Yeah, she probably when she opened the door, it would have just fallen.
I feel like you still have to like move it a little, or there's blood all over that seat.
No, probably. Let's say like, well, no, it was a clean shot to the neck. There was only like a trickle on his neck. That's why I think somebody stabbed him in the neck. But I don't know. Like blow dart. I don't fucking know. Either way,
dart.
She was flying.
Kingpin himself just with a blow dart. Just.
Yeah. There's nothing like he's dead. There's nothing holding him up. What's holding him up is the door. Look, because all of his muscles are relaxed. So like if you open the door, the body's just gonna fall out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just kind of have to move the legs. But fun fact, that is what you are supposed to do if somebody is attacking, either if somebody gets in your back seat or like pops up after you get in your car in the back seat, or is trying to attack somebody like in front of your car. Like if, like, say Jordan and you and I were like walking a parking garage, you had gotten in before I could get in, somebody tried to grab me. You're supposed to slam your car into something because the airbags will save you. Like hurt the other person. Like if they're in your back seat, you're supposed to throw it in reverse and just slam your foot on the gas as hard as you can because the airbags will save your life, but not the person in the back.
Good to know. Take notes, kids.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Do crime.
What did you guys think about an apprentice level Kate Bishop kind of taking it to Kingpin? That worked for you guys?
She held her own for a bit, all things considered.
And like I also was like, you are so behind the 8 ball here just because he's so much bigger than you.
And like just the mental intimidation being like, I stabbed you with an arrow, and he goes,
shot you with an arrow and nothing happened.
Like just the mental intimidation that does is like, you know what, you did a decent job, Kate. You might have wanted to have saved your shrapnel arrow, but you know, hindsight's 20/20.
Aim for the head. Why are you shooting him in the chest? Shoot him in the neck. Who gives a fuck?
Right in the eye. Let's give Kingpin an eye patch.
Why not? Well, that would kill. An arrow to the eye would kill him. There is no stopping that one.
Yeah, what's wild is the comics have never been like, oh, by the way, Kingpin's semi-superpower. They've just been like, no, dude's big.
Dude's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Heckin' chonker.
I liked that she was getting her shit rocked, but that she could like hold her own for a little while. Because I think realistically, that's what would happen. Is if she really is this skilled of a fighter, she would hold her own, but she'd be exhausting herself just because he's so much bigger than her.
There's very few people I could like. When I say hold their own, I mean like kind of just also cause a draw with Kingpin.
Also, I guess Kingpin was like pulling his punches a little bit.
Was he?
Yeah, because he was like, "Get out of my way! Like, I'm not trying to deal with you."
At first,
like,
he was just like, like, I don't care about you or what you're doing.
Like, you're not even worth the effort.
So, like, just move.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was basically like, "Why are you doing this? Like, I'm giving you the opportunity to let me just walk away."
I don't. I'm thinking back right now, and like I've never rewatched Daredevil, so everything is from my original viewing at whatever time I watched the show. I feel like him being like, there are no lines in this business. It sucks that you're upset about your daughter isn't 100% in character. He's definitely caused people to continue to work for him, even though they're worried about their kids. Like I'm not saying that part's against him, but for him to just be like, the whole deal with it aspect, I feel like wasn't necessarily how we've seen him.
Isn't his entire family dead though? Or haven't they abandoned him or something?
That's Spider-Verse.
Oh.
and this all he has is Vanessa.
Oh,
Vanessa, please. He can still do the voice. Good for him.
Well, yeah, I feel like, I mean, isn't it just as simple like that business relationship is just that valuable to him?
But I could
like
see him being really like, listen, just stick with me and I will assure you nothing will ever happen to your daughter. Like, yeah, I just feel like
he doesn't care that much.
I mean,
he'd have to care about Kate staying in his...
He straight up said, I will give you a moment to rethink in the spirit of the holidays, so thanks, Santa.
Yeah. What he was saying was, I am giving you a second right now...
to retract.
To just retract everything you just said to me. That's all he was doing. He does not see anyone else as a threat, and so, like, his solution to all of it is just kill them. Like... Who doesn't give a fuck?
I don't know how to explain it in words, or I'm not trying to say that he's nice. I'm saying that from a he's to psychologically calm / play both his opponents and his workers. He will be sympathetic to them if he knows it can help him. So if he knows that,
yeah, but that's partly because he knows he can lie to the people underneath him. Are all clearly dumbasses. Like, he could clearly lie to them, but then you look at the people he couldn't lie to, like Maya's father and, you know, all that, and he's like, just get rid of him.
Yeah.
You know? I know why I was a little frustrated with how this ended, and it's that instead of a real post-credit scene, we got a fucking musical number.
Yes.
Listen,
Now,
I think that's honestly why. And like, Brett, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. One
speak to me,
hand.
because then I have a whole section.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll say a couple of things and then I'll take it to you and I'll go
Yeah.
get a drink of water or whatever while you go on your tangent.
Okay.
Well, on one hand, I love musicals just as much as the next dude. Love La La Land, all that stuff. Singing in the Rain, all that stuff. You know, they're awesome movies. You know, love a movie that makes me cry, all that good stuff. Love this interpretation of like a musical within like an alternate like reality. Super cool. Love the connections with No Way Home. Um, Love that they actually did like legit like Broadway stuff for this. Like it was legit. Um, and I brought it up earlier. Like we don't have like a through line of like what to expect next for Clint, Kate, Kingpin, Echo, like all these
Yeah,
characters.
like you could have made it a little longer and put like a second,
Yeah.
not fucking weird post-credit scene.
They could have done it.
Did
one
you
of the
just
two-
tweet that, Jordan? Did you just?
I did.
tweet?
I just tweeted from the shared screens account. I love La La Land, and I quoted Brett. No, I do it with love, man. Just out of context, that's hilarious.
No. I'm not like afraid of that opinion, but
Good.
But
I think Brett's afraid of any of his opinions.
and especially because wait, what did you say, Liren?
I said I don't think you're afraid of any of your opinions. It's not a dig. It's honestly something I'm jealous of. You and Josh don't give a fuck about.
I thought
opinions.
you said you are afraid of some opinions. I was like, oh gosh, what opinions am I afraid
No.
of?
That you're not afraid of your own opinions.
And maybe because I feel like we don't have. I actually want to look back and see this. Like, with all of the TV show Disney Plus stuff, is there only been one stinger? Like, I know some episodes, like, there's been a stinger in, like, episode 3 or whatever, like, Loki or something. Like, there's been, like, it's just inconsistent. So I'm not sure what to expect for the TV shows. Because with movies, I'm always like, I saw Spider-Man No Way Home and I went to my friend Philip. I'm like, hey, there's a credit. Like, there's going to be a stinger, like, right after the crazy credits. They're going to do the normal scrolling credits and then another stinger. Like, you know to expect this stuff with the movies, whereas the TV shows, like, I don't know what to expect. And then to have the stinger for this show just be an extended number of the Rogers and musical, to me, wasn't.
Listen, I feel
To
like
me, didn't cut it.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, Lauren, I know you've had mixed opinions about post-credit scenes, and that's mainly about your concern for theater workers rather than Marvel doing them as a thing.
But when I went to go see Spider-Man, they literally had a bunch of people in there because they had a showing like 10 minutes later, and the theater was a fucking mess. Like, everybody just left their garbage fucking everywhere, and I'm like, these people have to wait until the very end of the credits are ready. Pick up your fucking garbage. Like, when you are in public, the workers around you are not there to pick up after you. Like, you're an adult, be a big boy, and pick up your shit.
Okay,
when I saw Spider-Man, I was like picking up all my trash because I didn't want to leave it on the ground. And like the people behind me in the line were like slowly inching forward. I'm like, come on, like let me like clean
and
up.
like that's how you know what I do during the long scrolling credits, waiting for the second stinger. I pick up my shit because I have so much time.
That's
so
smart.
I pick up my shit. Thank you. I pick up my shit and I get my keys out and I make sure that I'm all ready to go once the second one plays.
Anyway, I know you've had mixed opinions on them, but I feel as though really the thing this episode was missing was a tease as to what's to come next. And
because they've trained me for 10 years to expect it.
And I feel as though they've always done a good job, especially like this show had a lot of potential. They could have done something with Yelena. They could have done something with Kingpin. They could have done something with Echo. They could have done something with Kate or Eleanor to tease what the second season would be about. And I feel it's like, okay, listen, the Rogers, the musical thing, I get you guys had to film that, but it could have been the post-credit scene to the first episode.
And I get that you hired...
Or just give us two, because like every humorous post-credit scene I can think of came with one that was serious. Like in Spider-Man No Way Home, you get that Cap one about patience. Well, earlier you got this tease for the Scorpion. In the Avengers with the shawarma one, you get the Thanos thing. Like, there are... I don't know, just do 2 teasers.
It tonally felt off. Not only within the context of when we see Clint at the show in episode 1, it literally just brings up all the past trauma of him being an
my
Avenger
God.
and his relationship with Natasha. And then 2, yeah, it's just to not only for that aspect, but also to close out the show or the season with that. It was just like,
So it should have been the
what?
post-credit scene for episode 1, or you guys should have given us a second one that actually was like... I feel like Echo and Kingpin would have been the easiest answer.
Yeah. Or Yelena. I feel like those are the 2 easiest answers here, my guys. Like,
Yeah,
what are we
because now
doing?
with we can get into that later, but like where we think all these characters are gonna go now, like, and obviously this Yelena wasn't the focus of the show, but like this, her appearances in the show almost was like a realization of like, hey, am I trading like one master for another in terms of the Red Room, and now just blindly following whatever hit jobs Val sends her after, like. You know what I mean? Because like she was like, wait a minute, like I'm actually gonna do some research into who like hired me and who, you know what I mean?
And
So
I want to see that, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Did you guys think that him just knowing the whistle and her being like, "Oh, now I won't kill you," like I feel like was that little
No,
That
I
okay? That yeah, yeah.
like I
I
feel
would take
mixed
that
about it.
just because, like, I know there are things that me and my sister have between the 2 of us. Because, okay, that scene made me cry because Yelena and Natasha just remind me of me and my sister. It's a big age gap.
Your sister's flown a plane.
No, but my sister's like more. My sister's very protective of me. My sister used to have stress nightmares about me dying. Sometimes at the hands of my mother, which is hilarious. But
I'm sorry, like
she
I
used to
shouldn't
have
laugh.
dreams about like having to save me and all this stuff, and she's always been very protective of me. And I get very emotional. But we have inside jokes that only the 2 of us know. Like there are ones that just because they haven't come up, I don't think. Like her husband probably knows, but like there aren't many people that know like certain inside jokes. So if somebody could say to me the full joke, not just her part, I'd be like, oh, I at least should give you a chance before I beat the shit out of you in Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, that was
If you were in Times Square, I wouldn't have hesitated.
that was another part that kind of whelmed me, only in the sense of obviously Clint knew about Yelena, and I would assume that Natasha would have brought up Clint at least once.
She does in Black Widow.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. But I was saying like in between, maybe like
That's the thing.
before they got snapped.
Elena
But
has a
like
general idea of Clint and Natasha's relationship. She just thinks, no, he still killed her.
that's why for me I was like they're gonna have to really pull this off because
Or then by the...
obviously
Oh, go ahead.
I was like obviously us as viewers know way more than even the characters know, but I was like if I'm Yelena and I'm just like hey this guy killed my sister, I'll be like wait isn't that like her best friend so to speak, which and then like and then during the show too. Clint's like 800 times like I didn't kill her, like she made their choice, like she quote unquote beat me in that choice, blah blah blah. And then she's still like I don't care. And then
Then she wanted to kill him
whistles.
for not winning and sacrificing himself.
Really
And then
quick.
he whistles, and then
Okay,
she's
okay.
like all of a sudden she's like oh okay yep.
Okay, also, this is where I was gonna go with this, is so besides the whistle, I think part of it is she came back from the snap, her sister is gone, she wants answers, somebody is giving her answers.
Mhm.
And even if not giving her answers, somebody is giving her a person to take it out on.
That I get.
I don't
That part I
think
totally
she
get.
really cares that Clint is the one who did it. She's just was given somebody, like, and I would do that too. Like if I lost my sister and somebody came to me and was like, this is the person, I would ask no questions and just go.
Because you just want to take
Because
that anger out on someone.
Especially if I was a Black Widow, like I get to just beat the shit out of somebody for it and like feel like I did something and that I protected my sister for once or avenged her for once. And like I think that's also when Clint went, if I told you the truth and what happened, you would never believe me, is true. The story, if you were not there, sounds bananas.
I mean,
Clint
doesn't the
even
general
says-
public know that Thanos just snapped his
but
fingers and
how much?
killed fucking people? Reference
They
Thanos.
know that. I know they know that, but how much do they know about like
The stones
well,
and magic.
I am War Machine, and I took this alien robot thing that is the daughter of the purple robot, or the purple alien, and we went to a planet and we punched another superhero that's never come to Earth. His name's Star-Lord. Well, he came to Earth for the battle, I guess. His name's Star-Lord. We knocked him out, stole a thing. While we were doing that, Hawkeye and Black Widow, they went somewhere and they talked to a Red Skull who
They talked to a Nazi, actually, funny enough.
Talked to a Nazi in a cape.
I do love how he was like, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, and I do feel like at the end there, like, Jeremy Renner did a really good job acting of, like, he looks so tired of, like, he's like, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, like yeah. I just thought you didn't like him.
I hope no, it's not that. I hope this doesn't sound victim blaming. What I'm about to I think Yelena beating the shit out of him was cathartic for both of them.
Yeah,
there was a part of him that was like,
because he's still not over it.
I deserve this. I should have won and sacrificed myself. Beat the shit out of me. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I feel like before the whistle, though, he could have said, when she was like, why... What made you so special? Why were you worthy of coming back? I feel like if he had been like, I have kids, Yelena might have clicked a little bit faster, because it, again, makes it all about family. I don't know why he was going the complicated route.
Because she'd be like, I don't know.
He wants to keep his kids kind of on the down low a little bit, right?
That too. And
she's about to shoot you.
It's this really weird thing where I'm trying to, like, say this in a way that makes sense and not, like, telling people to get over deaths of family members, but, like, when somebody dies, they're not in any emotional or physical pain. You are. So with something like the snap, the only person who's sad is Clint. Had they lost, he would spend the rest of his life being sad, but nothing had happened to his family members. In the reverse, like, I mean, they don't have to feel what he's feeling.
And that his children didn't get to grow up.
Yeah, but I feel like Yelena would have been like, I don't know, I just feel like Yelena wasn't really taking much for answers, which is fine. Like, more power to you. Don't have a weak spot.
I also don't think she cared.
Yeah.
But I think if he had been like, I have kids that she wanted me to be able to go back to, or, like, get back, I think Yelena would click on that quicker, that Natasha would want to keep a family together.
Mm-hmm.
And that Natasha is very clearly like a sacrifice I can make to make it easier on somebody else. Like, because if she dies, it's only Yelena that is losing somebody. If Clint dies, it is his wife but they still succeed. It is his wife and his 3 children coming back, finding out that they have been gone for 5 years and their husband is dead.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like, it's almost why I say, like, I don't fully go with the Clint should have died aspect. Like, I get the Jeremy Renner aspect of it, but, like, it's almost would have been...
That was mainly what it was. Is at the time, there aren't a lot of people that say Clint should have died anymore, because at the time, we were not sure if Black Widow was going to be good or not. We had been waiting forever for it, and Jeremy Renner had proved himself to be kind of an asshole. So, like, but
what I mean is exactly what you just said. It almost would have been more upsetting if he died and his family came back and we just went from being happy to sad. You could have kept us dusted and we would have been none the wiser.
That's what Natasha was motivated by, and that's why I feel like if he had been like, I have children, just saying, if he had done that and then paired it with the whistle, I feel like it would have been much quicker. But it was great. Anyways, are we ready for my thoughts on this musical?
Yeah, go
yes. All
right, so I opened this note, sorry. I opened my phone, I'm like, where are my notes? I got a Twitter notification that the Bidens are adopting a cat, and I wanted to see pictures, but they haven't posted one yet. That's why if you go back and listen about 5 minutes ago, while 2 of you were talking, you will hear me whisper, show me the cat. But, alright, so I wrote in a whole new section, on the song in the post-credit from a former musical theater nerd and a person who has a bachelor's in theater performance and has seen some spectacularly bad musicals. I saw Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, guys. Like, I feel weirdly qualified to comment on this. this is nitpicky, but so Adam Pascal, who's a very famous Broadway singer, is the one who is playing Coulson. Guy in the suit with the I Love New York. That's Adam Pascal.
That's supposed to be Coulson?
Yes.
That looked like just
It's
like an
not-
average New Yorker.
Yes, it's supposed to be Coulson, I think.
Then who is the doctor guy?
It was Bruce.
That was not Bruce.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was Nick Fury. I literally wrote Nick Fury was not a doctor, and then my next note is, oh my god, that is Bruce Banner. Because then when it cuts to him in costume, it is the same guy painted green in a green hoodie.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Bruce Banner. I was like, that's a fucking choice, my guy. But
Wow.
I didn't like that his first line was it was cloudy because the Battle of New York was many things, but it was not cloudy.
Yeah.
I also personally hate Adam Pascal's singing. If you listen to him in Rent, if you listen to him in Aida, if you listen to him in this stupid number from a musical that's not real, he does this weird, like, growly, like, thing with his voice that drives me fucking nuts.
I live in America. Like, he does it in that song a lot.
He does that, like, it sounds like he is ripping his vocal cords apart. And I'm like, sir, like, how do you not have polyps? Because you also smoke cigarettes, my man.
The amount of Broadway singers that smoke cigarettes confuse me.
So many.
Did health class lie to us?
No, they are terrible for you. Actors and singers just have dependencies on things. Myself included. Not cigarettes, but this is a me thing, but I hate the phrase New York strong.
Oh yeah, me too. I cringed at that. I was like,
but the whole point is that it's supposed to be cringy.
But why?
Sure.
Like, why is it bad? Like, because realistically, if Rogers the Musical would be real, it wouldn't necessarily be, it's a, not uncouth, a tactless idea, but like, would you knock it off?
I think the difference is like, because I think obviously based off the poster alone, it's like based off of Hamilton, but I think the difference is like, how this world looks up to the Avengers versus like, did anybody give a fuck about Hamilton before the musical? Like, he's just the guy on the 10. He wasn't even a president. Like, and
Please
I think
don't get me started on Hamilton.
Okay, I won't. But like, you see what I'm doing? Like, what I'm saying is like, I think it's like people's they're really selling to the masses in this one. They're going for the lowest common denominator.
I've seen low common denominator, shitty musicals. Writing is usually not this cringy, but I did also really like the line we lived through the 80s, this too shall pass is very funny. That was a very funny
what does that mean?
Oh, New York in the 80s
was one of the most dangerous places in the country, in the world. Like,
okay.
Times Square was just porno theaters and drug dealers and prostitutes, and like you could buy knives and like all this stuff.
When RuPaul was on SNL a couple years ago, he had in his opening monologue, he goes, "When I moved to New York, the streets were filled with prostitutes and porn and drug dealers, but it wasn't all fun." That's how his monologue starts, and I love it.
It was a rough time. 80s New York was a rough time.
Okay.
That's why you'll hear a lot of New Yorkers be like, I fucking hate Rudy Giuliani, but he was like helpful to New York City for like 10 minutes because he helped clean up the city.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she straight up just petted your shoulder.
She just tapped me on the shoulder. This is what she does. This is my life. She literally just, I'm not paying attention to her, so she tapped me on the shoulder. I just enjoyed that line. Of fucking course, Captain America is a blonde power tenor. He came out and belted out, I can do this all day, and I went, of fucking course, they made this dickhead a fucking power tenor. And you know what? I feel sorry.
Oh, to reiterate to everyone watching, Liren hates Captain America.
Captain America.
I do not. Jordan, I don't think hates Captain America either. Feel like, yeah.
Nah, for a brown guy, I weirdly like Captain America.
To be clear, that is not a dig at Captain America. It's a dig
at the casting.
How casting works, because he is such like, whether you like him or not, he is just like this, like thought of as like the all-American boy. Mm-hmm. That's such a common thing that they're like skinny power tenors, and like I was sitting here going, I feel sorry for every single person studying theater in this country, in this universe, because every motherfucker who thinks he can sing is belting this shit out at auditions at random times in the hallway, and they all want to die, but they can't say anything because he is a national hero. And I felt that in my bones, because there's always one, like,
or the one, like, you know, blonde-haired white dude that like wants to do experimental shit but keeps getting cast as Captain America.
That, and it's the kids who think they can sing American Idiot the musical and can't.
Leon, that was too specific.
Shut up. Shut it. Shut it. Chitauri costumes are really good. The Black Widow one was really shitty, and that was confusing to me because it's literally just a dance suit. Like, you can buy a black dance suit that would work for the costume, like at any, like, I could go on Discount Dance Supplies right now and do that, and I'm not a Broadway costume designer.
Another question. So, for most of the costumes, I thought they were pretty cool. How come for Captain America, it was just him like in a t-shirt?
They were trying to modernize it.
Like, how come he didn't have like some sort of like military suit on,
He
or
was
even
in the
something
leather
like...
jacket, and I think the idea is like he would zip the jacket up, but they're also trying to modernize it.
The star was only on his shirt; it wasn't on the jacket. I looked because I felt the same way of what Brett is saying. Like, the Loki costume was fine. Loki with dreadlocks was fun. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
The top hat was a choice, but like, yeah, like that would happen. And like, I don't know, Thor being like this bassy guy, I was like, this is how it would get
With
cast.
clearly a wig and a fake beard.
Yeah, I was like, this is how it would get cast. And like, I was sitting there and I was like, I know who the people I went to college with would want to play if this was real.
Wait,
like,
who they would want to play, or who they would get cast as, or both?
Both, but as like not in like because they love Marvel, like in a world where these were real superheroes, not movies. Like, in this universe, I know exactly how that would have gone down. And all I could picture is the announcement that Rogers the Musical was our spring musical, and the fucking chaos that would ensue. Anyways, this is what I mean when I say this is going to be the episode. This is going to be the episode that somebody's going to listen to and be like, Leon's being mean. It's like, it's not directed at anyone. It's a good and a bad thing. And then I wrote, what if Marvel is real? Like, stay with me. Marvel, that we are in the multiverse, and somewhere the Marvel universe that is the MCU exists and is a universe. How funny would it be if, like, it came out that Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark was not actually written by you two, but like Ned from that universe was like, I'm gonna go over here and make a fuck ton of money because they have over there, they're fictional characters and they have movies and shit about them, and I'm gonna go make a buttload of money.
The same person who wrote Rogers the Musical wrote Turn Off the Dark, but sold it in this universe.
Yeah, and I just loved it. Like, that made me, my theory made me giggle. Black Widow doing that fucking kick drove me nuts because it's just such a basic dance move. Like, if you've ever seen Chicago, everybody's intro is like, I'm gonna kick, like, and do this weird like standing split, and I just
wait, you talked about the one line you actually liked about the 80s. We got through this.
We lived through the 80s. This too shall pass.
I'll say
one. Fight for New York and kick some ass. Yeah.
What was a really dumb line was Black Widow's a knockout who'll knock you out. It's like, you guys couldn't find a different rhyme.
And also that the Hawkeye part was fucking weird.
This one, he seems like a cool guy.
Like a really nice guy.
I think that was part of the joke of like, people don't really care for Hawkeye both in and out of the universe. Now the show has changed many people's opinions.
Also, Ant-Man's costume looks like if I walked into Disneyland California Adventure tomorrow and went into Avengers Campus, there is somebody in that outfit that was Ant-Man's costume. It was
a basketball t-shirt, wasn't it?
It was black basketball shorts, a red basketball t-shirt, a black vest, and a Pym Labs snapback.
Yeah, and the basketball logo was just a Pym particle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, why'd they make Ant-Man a basketball player? Like, it was a
short. I'm assuming it looked like Telly Long. I don't think it actually was Telly Long. I could be wrong. It was like a short Southeast Asian guy. I I have to look up if it was Telly Long because it looked and sounded like him. Is Telly Long in?
His costume sucked. Like, you gotta have.
Yeah.
I mean, Hawkeye even goes in the first episode. He goes, he wasn't even there for this.
He wasn't even there. It is. Oh my god, it was Telly Long. I know what the fuck is up.
Okay.
I know what the fuck is up.
Now I don't have to Google it.
No, it was Telly Long. Yeah, I know things. Good Lord. But yeah, those were my thoughts on the musical. I did not like that scene.
I would have loved it if it wasn't the only post-credit scene we got. Like, again, it should have been in episode 1, or fuck it, fine, you want to save it for today, do it, but give us something else. There were so many things, like...
It was not a good time for me. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes.
So am I.
I mean, let's be real for 30 seconds. Hawkeye, like, you guys got to have Spider-Man where, like, none of you were going to criticize that regardless. Like, we all knew going in that Jordan was never going to criticize that movie.
I've said my complaints about it. Like, my very few, but a couple.
I don't remember you having any complaints, but I wasn't on that podcast, and we don't need to dredge this up.
Also,
right
I don't
now.
want to get into No Way Home spoilers here because it's only been a week.
That too. My time to be fucking annoying and I'm just going to like anything is right now, during Hawkeye, and when Moon Knight comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be useless on fucking Moon Knight podcast because I'm just going to be like, it's all great. It's all fantastic.
I could see you coming into an episode once and be like, guys, I have no idea what happened, but Oscar Isaac's really hot.
Look great. Oh, guys, I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. I love Moon Knight.
When's the next MC show?
We don't have an official date.
We're supposed to find out this week or next week.
I think right now everyone's predicting that whatever they decide to put out first, whether it be She-Hulk or Moon Knight, it's probably just they're waiting till Book of Boba Fett ends.
The rumor is that they're not. They were just waiting for Hawkeye.
That's only going to be like 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Book of Boba Fett. Okay. Yeah, it's only like 6, so it's
because
month-ish.
Because the rumor is that we're getting Moon Knight in either February or March, and that's only 6 episodes, and then that they're gonna stop.
She-Hulk's 9.
That they're gonna start She-Hulk, after that, and that's gonna fill the gap between now and Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So if Book of Boba Fett's going until like mid-February, then I could see Moon Knight or She-Hulk starting.
Do we know how many episodes of Book of Boba Fett are dropping next week? Just 1 or 2? Because if just 1 is dropping, it'll end 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll end February 2nd.
It'll be 1 or 2. Yeah, it'll be 1 or 2.
Yeah, if they're dropping 2, it'll finish the last full week of January.
With Mandalorian, they've only dropped 1 at a time. They never did a 2-piece, right? I don't think so.
I don't remember the first.
I feel like the first season. I mean, I didn't have Disney Plus at the time, but I feel like the first season dropped the first 2 when Disney Plus launched.
No, I don't think so because the end of episode 1 is him and the child doing the finger point, and that was like that hook of like,
oh, okay,
boom, and then that's you. I remember waiting a week after that because it was nuts.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think they did too.
Well, whether it's the Book of Boba Fett.
Hang on 1 second.
Okay.
Let me look this up because this is my biggest pet peeve when people recording podcasts who have phones or have computers are like, I don't know, when you could just look it up.
Oh, we need something to fill that gap while you Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they only released the first episode on the day Disney tried. Oh, because you remember what it was? Disney Plus dropped on the 12th, which was like a Wednesday.
And then they had an episode Friday.
And then they had the episode that Friday. Yeah,
later.
It was
that's
like
right.
you got the because I just saw it was the 12th and the 15th because that's how they had.
Yeah.
And then from then on, it was a week by week thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a week by week, yeah, because November 12th in 2019 was a Tuesday, and then Friday they dropped the next episode. That's what it was.
2019 feels like a million fucking years ago.
Yes, it does.
It does, man.
All right, guys. Well, whether it's the Book of Boba Fett, She-Hulk, or Moon Knight, make sure you stay tuned here for all our reviews, topics, discussions on it, whether it be Media Club or on This Is the Waypoint, which is our Star Wars show. But have a happy holiday, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye.